Right, a gear review today. Lekato wireless guitar system, the WS-90. So Lekato contacted me a little while ago asking could they send me one of their guitar wireless systems to review. And in fact, they actually gave me a choice of ones that I wanted to look at. I chose this one, the WS-90, for a reason, because this one is slightly different to my other wireless systems, because this one runs at 5.8 gigahertz, which is supposedly a little bit more stable. So I thought it'd be interesting to have a little look at this one. So if you're not sure what a wireless guitar system is, it basically gets rid of the need for a cable between your instrument and the amp. Now the instrument, it says guitar, but obviously it works with ukuleles, electro acoustic ukuleles, solid body, electric ukuleles, and even bass ukuleles and mini basses. So let me explain a bit more. What is in the box? All right, let me go like that for a moment. Remove those so I can see what I'm doing. You've got an instruction manual. It's fairly straightforward. I'll show you how it works in a moment, all right? But the instruction manual is there. Okay, so in the box, first of all, we have got a cable. This is for charging the receiver and the transmitter. So the actual transmitter and receiver, in other words, the bits that you plug in, all right, when they come out of the box, they look quite sort of rectangle, but you then just simply pull out the jacks. In other words, the bits that you're going to plug in. Okay. What else is on them? They really are straightforward to use. You've got an on-off button on the side, like one of those slidey toggle things. And then you've got a button for the channels, because you can run a few sets of these at the same time. It's up to 4 channels. And you just simply press the button so you can pair the receiver and the transmitter. So let me show you just how easy they are. So grab an instrument. In this case, it's my electro-acoustic ukulele. I need the transmitter. That's what plugs into the instrument, like so. And depending on what instrument it is, you can put it at whatever angle you need to. I'm going to turn it that way, so hopefully you'll be able to see it. And then you get the receiver and plug that into the amp. Then you just slide the switch on. 1, 2. And you should have a light. Yep. It's flashing when it's looking. This is already paired up now. And hopefully you can see there is a blue steady light on there. A blue steady light on the actual receiver plugged into the amp. Like any cable, if you plug in these in and out, make sure your amp is switched off or at least on mute. So I'm ready to play. I unmute the amp and it should sound exactly as if you've got a cable going for your instrument into the amp. So before we look into it any further, the price. They're available on Amazon. As I said, I have been sent this one for review. I think at the moment, just before I started recording, they were at £48 or £47.98. But I could see the recommended retail price on them is £70. So always try and bag a bargain. Now these wireless guitar systems, not just this Lekato one, but generally they do work with loads and loads of different types of instruments. I've already mentioned ukulele, solid body, electric ukulele, bass, ukulele, mini bass and bass guitar, as well as guitar, but also things like electric violins or electric banjos. All right, basically anything you would use for a cable into an amp, this can replace. But again, I'm talking generally about these. They don't always work in every single instrument. Active instruments tend to be a little bit more fussy about these, but I did have a bit of an exciting discovery, which I will mention very soon. So we've tried it in an electro acoustic ukulele. Let's go to an extreme now and try it in my Kala solid body U bass. This is a passive bass, okay? If you haven't seen these before, they've got magnetic pickups, so they're much more like a bass guitar, and should already be plugged in. Works perfectly well. Now, I just mentioned this is passive, okay? So I really was expecting it to work in this, and that's one reason why I quite like passive instruments. They cause a little bit less hassle. But I can definitely confirm that the Lekato WS-90 works on this solid body U bass, but also a few others. So as something a bit different, this is one of my solid body electric ukuleles. Again, magnetic pickup, but I want to play this through a pedal. So what I'm going to be doing with this one is the transmitter is going to go into the ukulele, but the receiver goes into my pedal, okay? So the receiver is by there. I could, in theory, use 2 sets of these and actually wirelessly connect up the pedal board to the amp. But in this case, I'm going, the receiver is in here. I've got a cable running from my pedal into the amp, and then the transmitter goes into the instrument, in this case, the electric uke. So the transmitter goes into my gorgeous Flight Vanguard, and then obviously the cable's going in there, but the actual receiver is in the pedal. So it works brilliantly in one of these two, and again, this is a passive instrument, no batteries involved. I mentioned a little earlier that I did get quite excited by this wireless system for good reason. The ones I've been trying for the last few years, none of them seem to work with this, which is my Kala fretless, and it's the one I love to play for gigs, but it's an active instrument, and every other time I'd plugged a wireless system in, I got a horrible bit of feedback and buzzing, and it wasn't usable. All right, it's not great. So we had a rehearsal on Sunday with the Ukumaniacs. I'd been using a cable. I'd forgotten I'd put this in my bag. So right at the end of the rehearsal, I thought, hang on, let's just plug it in and see. And guess what? It works with no interference. If you can hear a sound, it's very small. It's the fan running on my amp. All right, there is absolutely no buzzing, no interference, no feedback. So suddenly now I can actually go wireless, not only in rehearsals, but in gigs. And it works with my Magic Fluke timber bass, another one that I like to play and was gutted that the others haven't worked in. And again, this is an active, so I'm really chuffed. See me smiling? That was the biggest shocker. Because I had a lot of interference when I've used wireless transmitters with this one. So yes, it works with my California U bass as well. So the last wireless system I did a review of, I took into school and did a little wander around my big classroom, and even actually left the room and took it to a rehearsal with Ukumaniacs and had a good wander around. I've been waiting for weeks for the weather to get better, but I took this one outside just to see what it played like outdoors. So going from the Lekato guitar wireless system through my Hartkey amp into the Zoom, and we'll see what it sounds like going hopefully right the way to the back of the garden. We'll see. Oh, it's freezing out here, but at least it's dry. So yeah, worked perfectly well outdoors as well. Mind you, it was cold that day. So I've just come back to this little beauty for a moment. Okay, what I want to do, just to finish off now, is plug in the wireless system and then plug in a cable, and just to see if we can hear any difference at all. So we've got the transmitter in my Lanakai. This is an active instrument. So I've had, again, no issues with it working with an active instrument, but I have got a feeling, there's a memory that this one worked with some of the other transmitters as well. But so that's with the wireless system. And remember, when you plug in, same as a cable or the wireless system, amps should either be switched off or at least muted. So this is with the cable now. I can't hear any difference between the cable and the transmitter. Maybe we'll hear it a bit more on this recording. Who knows? So there we go. That is the Lekato WS-90 wireless guitar system going in their nice little bag. I will leave links below in the description where you can buy it. Thank you, Lekato, for sending me these. I have found something that works with some of my favourite instruments, so I am really, really happy. Round about £50 mark, if you can get them in the sale. I do have a Patreon page, so if you would like to support me, I will drop a link to that in the description below. As always, I do hope you've enjoyed this video. If you've got any comments or questions, leave them below. Give us a like if you've enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on new videos. Thank you for watching.